Hi guys, Brandy here. Welcome to the greenhouse. The sun has peeked out. It's been raining since yesterday, actually since late Wednesday night. Today is Friday, March 10th. It's about 2:30 in the afternoon, and so it was raining all morning, kind of on and off showers, and now the sun's peeking through. So I wanted to come out here because I left a bowl out and I collected rainwater in it. And one of the reasons I did that is because rainwater naturally has nitrogen in it. And so that's why in your garden after a rain or on your flower beds or whatever, you will notice that everything kind of perks up. And that is because they got a nice dose of nitrogen that just naturally mixes in the atmosphere in the rain. So the reason I left this bowl out here to collect some of this rainwater was because I want to get my asparagus and my rhubarb, and I have two varieties of asparagus that I'm trying. I have the Jersey Nights and I have the Purple Passion. No, this one's the Purple Passion. So what I wanted to do, and the rhubarb, I don't think I need to soak it. Let's see. Yeah, you don't need to soak it. And this one is a Victorian rhubarb. It says it is a hardy perennial with a tart flavor, superior for pies and sauces. So I think that would be so incredibly amazing if we get some rhubarb out of our rhubarb bed. So what I was thinking I would do is, these are the crowns, and I thought I would just let them soak. I want to keep one bed green, one bed for the purple, and then in the center is where I'm thinking I'm going to do the rhubarb. These are going to be perennial beds. These will be the only things in these beds. That's it. So I wanted to get these started, and then we're going to start some more seeds, and I kind of wanted to give you an update on the seeds we already started. We started seeds on, I believe it was February 8th-ish, somewhere in there. I don't actually have my cheat sheet out here. I have today's cheat sheet, but I don't have that one. But I'm pretty sure it was around February 8th, somewhere in there. And we started a lot of brassicas. Brassica is your cabbages, cauliflower, broccoli, all those things. So we started a lot of those, and I've been updating. They're doing great. I also did some chamomile tea, which is also doing well. My salad bowl mix did well, and I did have a few of the pelletized seeds, lettuce seeds that I had. They were old seed, and I didn't realize at the time that if you have a pelletized seed, you really want to use it in that same season you get it. Because it deteriorates, and I think that's what happened. I did germinate a couple of the butter, Skyfus, I believe it was Skyfus, Butter Crunch. I did get some of those. I don't think any of the coastal romaine came up at all, and so I just will be tossing that seed because they were pelletized, and this was my second time. Yeah, this was my second time trying those. And of all the ones I tried, of the Skyphus, I can't remember how you say it, because I don't have it in front of me. But it was just a few out of all I think I started close to 12 to 16 plants of it, something like that. And so I only got a few, but I transplanted them up. They're up here with my in my gardener salad bowl, which some of those are getting close to being able to go out in my green stock. that have my other lettuces in them. And I did end up getting some leeks. The onions were also pelletized, nothing. And I had no luck with those. I tried twice last year with those, nothing. So I just chunked those. And so I did end up getting some leeks. I have some dill, and I did get just a few celery. And it's kind of where I live, it's a little too late to start any more celery. So I'm just going to go with what I have and hope for the best and hope I get some. And if not, I could probably find a started plant and get some in the garden, because you don't need a whole lot. Now you can regrow celery, like if you get an organic, I mean, I guess you could any kind of celery. All of you've probably seen the science experiment where you take the bottom, the cut off celery, and you put it in water and it grows roots and you can replant it and all the good things. So you can do that too if you want, but so I have options, but I'm not going to restart any of those from seed. The ones I had absolutely, I did get one holy basil. It doesn't look so hot, and nothing else in that tray did well. So I didn't get any echinacea to come up. None of my lavender came up, and this is my second time with the lavender. And what was that? I'm trying to think. I had two different varieties of lavender, and I do have, like I said, I got a couple dill, and there was one other thing I had in there, and I can't remember what it is now, but it didn't, nothing in that tray other than those came up. So, but I want to retry to do some of those, because I still have time. I can. So, and I also need to go ahead and get started on my peppers. So I have picked, I actually have a pepper, I think I have one coming in the mail. I did place a small order with My Gardener, and I'm pretty sure there was one pepper in there I picked, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But for today's planting, I've got my little cheat sheet here. Okay, so I'm going to do 4 trays again. The first tray is going to be all sweet peppers, and the sweet peppers that I have picked are going to be the Cubanella pepper. That's an My Gardener pepper. Emerald Giant pepper. This is from Mary's Heirloom Seeds. I'm pretty sure she's out in California. This by far has been my favorite bell pepper I think I have ever eaten in my life. And I did save some seeds from it, but I still have some seeds, so I'd rather use the older seeds first and see how they do. And because I know they were successful last year, so I want to go ahead and try those again. My other really favorite pepper that I grew last year that I loved was the giant red Marconi pepper. That's an My Gardener seed. And then I had gotten the Hungarian yellow wax pepper from My Gardener. That one is a sweet, but it's got the thick skin. So if you want to do like a pickling, like maybe a sweet and sour pickle, banana pepper type thing, that one would be a good one. So I have, those are going to be my sweet ones. And I can't remember the one I ordered today, if it was a hot or a sweet. I don't remember. I think it was a sweet, but I'm not sure. I'll have to let you know. It doesn't matter. I'm not starting it today because it's not here yet. So then tray 2 is going to be my hot peppers, and I'm going to do the Big Jim pepper. That's My Gardener. I'm doing an early jalapeno pepper, My Gardener, and I'm doing a cayenne long slim. And those cayenne are really good to put in if you're ever going to do like hot pickled green tomatoes or anything like that. You're going to want some of those cayenne peppers. And also, like, if you want to do some spicy pickle, they just come in handy. And so I want to get some of those going. And then the last thing I'm going to put in that same tray is echinacea. That was the other one. It was echinacea. It did not come up. So I'm going to try it again. And this one was a Walmart seed. Something Beyond. I don't remember. I just remember Something Beyond. So, so we're going to have that because it has similar needs to the peppers. So I thought that would be okay. Tray 3 is going to be our redo of our 2 different lavenders. One is In My Gardener, one is Reamer. One is a common lavender, the other is a Vera lavender. I'm going to try dill again and holy basil again. But I'm going to do, I really feel like to my detriment was because I did not have pre-moistened soil. I loved the mix. I feel like the mix was totally solid. This was the best brassica start I've ever had. And so for that, I probably wouldn't change a thing. But for these ones where you're surface sowing, I really think I would have benefited if the soil would have been pre-moistened. So when I know I want to try to pre-moisten the soil when I do this tray this time, and if that doesn't work after that, I don't know, because I totally grew holy basil just fine last year. So I'm hoping that that was what it was, because all of these are literally almost surface to an eighth of an inch. I mean, you're just barely in the soil. So, and then tray 4 is going to be all Snapdragons. So I want to get, I have 4 different varieties of Snapdragons, so I want to do a whole tray of them. I love snaps. So I have Apple Blossom, Orange Wonder, Rose, and then Black Prince. And all the Apple Blossom, Orange Wonder, and Rose are all In My Gardener ones. And the Black Prince is a botanical interest. The thing that you want to invest in, and if you go to your local extension office, they'll usually give you one for free. If you just happen to be, like, if you're going to get soil tested, or maybe you're going to go do a plant sale or something like that, they typically have so many free resources. But I picked this up like it was on clearance. I think I paid $2 at Tractor Supply after Christmas, and I thought it was pretty. And so it's just a calendar. And I know a lot of people say, well, I take pictures or I put it in my phone. If that works for you, great. But I get kind of lost in all of the pictures and on my phone, just because I do so many and so much video. And I'm constantly having to put stuff on hard drives, moving things around so my computer will work, because I fill it up so quickly. And I've told y'all before, I'm a paper girl. So I bought this little calendar. It's just a little one. And this is so important because, like, I wrote the date on my cheat sheet. I have a date on my February cheat sheet. But I can go in my calendar and put when I'm starting what. You can also go on your calendar and start plugging in when should I be starting what. I will tell you that there's so many things that you can direct sow. Don't feel like cucumbers, you just direct sow them. You don't need to have them as starter plants, even though you go to the big box store and you'll find cucumbers. To be very honest, they don't like to be transplanted out. Neither do squash, any of the squashes. All those things can be directly sown. Beans, any of that kind of stuff. Corn. The things where you have to start them are things like peppers, a lot of the flowers, but a lot of flowers you can direct sow. You can just directly sow them out there and they will come up. It's amazing. But then you still want to kind of put down, okay, planted, what did you plant? When did you plant it? The other thing is, if you do have fruit trees or any of those things, you can write down, when you pruned it. Did you fertilize them? Because fruit trees are some of those things that you kind of fertilize once, and you just kind of make a checklist. And if you have it, this is good. The other thing is, like, if you decide you want to grow some potatoes. Potatoes are great because depending on if they're short day, long day, or that's onions, but any of those kinds of things, you'll have it written down, because I promise you will forget. You'll get things mixed up, you forget. And a calendar is one that you can handwrite on just for your garden season is so helpful. And then it's kind of contained in this little book, and I can use this and look back next year, or even at the end of the season, if I wanted to plug that in on my computer to kind of see, okay, well, this really worked well, this did not work well. especially like with my herbs. Well, maybe when I planted them in February, it just didn't, that maybe that was not a good time for me to plant where I was, even though it was technically okay to plant then. But what if it works great this time? Just little things like that. You can make notes on it. You can have it in one place, and it's just good information for you as you're learning, growing, and even particularly when you have failure. I mean, how do you learn? You learn from failing. Okay, so I've got all my trays done. They're pre-moistened, ready to go. All I got to do is drop seeds. You can see I've made the tags. I used the new marker. So far, I kind of like it. So we'll see how it holds up. I pulled out the, I want to call it by its proper name, the spring harvest asparagus. So this is the green, kind of has a little bit of the purple at the top. And I wanted to show you, these have been soaking. It kind of supposed to look like, I guess you could say a spider or octopus. And so when we go to plant it, you kind of, this is the crown, and you're going to kind of want to put it in your soil and have a little bit of the we're going to call them the roots, but the tentacle part of the root in all the directions. And so this one is pretty beautiful, and then this one is a little smaller, but they still look better than the strawberry bare roots. So I'm just separating these. See, this one looks really good, and you can just see, like, that's the crown. That's the crown. And then, and you just kind of want to go ahead and get these prepared for when you go to plant them. And you have to plant these, it says 6 inches deep, but everything that I read and the thing I watched at the extension office I mentioned earlier, they all said you really want to go 8 inches deep. And some of them said you can hill them up. I think the ones that said hill them up are for the ones who might be doing like in ground. Mine are in a bed, so I'm not going to do that, but I am going to try to get it down 8 inches deep. And this one looks like this one's a beast. But I wanted to show you how these look, and I'm only getting out the green ones right now so I can do those first, and in the bed, and then I'll do the purple, which were the purple, no, they were called Purple Passion, and these were the Jersey Nights. I don't know why I said Spring Harvest. They both say Spring Harvest. That's not the name. These are the Jersey Nights. And the purple ones are Purple Passions, and so they're still in the bowl. So I've got all these going, so I'm gonna head over to hands are dirty. I'm gonna head over to, let me show you those silver beds right there, and I'm gonna go ahead and start digging down, trenching it, so I can put these in and plant them. And so and when I do that, I'm going to take my square foot, let's see, I'm going to take my square foot tool over here, because, here, we'll just walk over here. I'm going to be planting 6 in each of these beds. I'm fixing to plant up the Purple Passion, but I wanted to show you the difference in the rhubarb and this one. Wait, you see this? Can you see that? It's already had sprouted rhubarb. That one honestly didn't look great, because it should look like this, and all these that are pointing down, that you plant that down, is how it's supposed to go into the ground. And on this one, see, it's supposed to go down like that. It only has like that one. It had this other piece that was broken, so I'm just going to stick it in the bed with it and see what happens there. Again, I paid $5 for these at Tractor Supply. I also wanted to mention that regardless of where you are in the United States, you can plant rhubarb and asparagus up through May. So it is not too late. You can get those. This is something you as long as you have a space where it's going to stay. Rhubarb, like I said, is supposed to do really well in a container. And so, or even I saw someone who even did a grow bag on YouTube. I have not tried that, but because this is my first time, I really just want it here. I want it to be stationary, and I don't have to do anything else once I get this done other than watering, feeding, weeding, that kind of thing. I did notice in the bed, because we used our compost and stuff like that already, in that last one, I had little beet greens coming up. I picked them out because it's not supposed to be for beets. So, but I thought that was kind of fun. Really moist because it rained all yesterday and this morning. So this soil is plenty moist. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this sweet gum ball. You don't want those in your garden. I'm going to press it down. And I'm going to have enough to do 3 square feet. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be planting my asparagus, 1 on each side, so I can get 6 in this bed. And then in the center, that's where I'm going to put my the other thing. Shoot. This is going to get edited out. And then I'm going to plant the other asparagus over there. But anyway, so I'm going to use this. So let me take it up. If you can see kind of the imprint. So I want to do another one. And this actually has more than, the 3 square foot. But because of the rounded, I don't want that pollen stuff in here either. So you can see there's another one. See, that's 2. And 1 more. And that way I can come along this line here and trench it to plant 3, and then do the same thing on the other side. And that's it. And that's how I'm going to plant my asparagus. Now, as you can tell, this is a foot deep bed, so I can certainly go the 8 inches down. Let me set that there. And so let me get to it. And it's just like that. It's that easy. That bed is planted. It's forever planted, I hope. I hope for 40 years it's planted. If I live to be 90. Okay guys, I got all the peppers done. The only thing I'm going to do is I'm going to moisten them one more time with my handy dandy bottle here. I love this thing. I can link it in the description. I bought it off of Amazon. I don't know if you can get them at Home Depot or someone else. But if you find them, it says they're made in the USA. It's amazing. I love it. And this one is my Snapdragon tray. This one does not need a heat mat, so I'm going to be able to do these. I'm going to put a dome lid on them. Well, I'll water them, put a dome lid. Actually, I'll water them, and then what I was going to say about the peppers and even on my herbs, I'm going to put some perlite, which is the little white pieces. but I have just plain perlite, and I'm just going to put a little covering over the top. I'm hoping that might help keep the moisture in so I have good germination. So this one is called Apple Blossom. And you want to plant it, you're going to surface sow. So these are all just kind of on the surface. So, oh my goodness. And these things are teeny tiny. Holy smokes. Okay. They're sticking to like the glue. So let me, if you can see, they are teeny tiny. All right, so I'm just gonna try to drop a couple on each one of them. So I'm definitely gonna put the perlite on these because the surface sowing, I mean, these things could just blow away. But this is so easy. You don't even have to. Okay, and I'm going to try to save the rest of these. All right, so that one was the Apple Blossom. Then I'm going to do Orange Wonder. I'll tell you, one of my favorite YouTubers, I think actually I found her on Facebook, like before I realized like YouTube was like this thing. Was like, I knew it was a thing for like education stuff. I don't know how I didn't know about all this other stuff. I guess I'm just a doofus. Um, but I saw her on like on Facebook Reels, and I don't even know if it was called Reels. I would just see these little videos that would pop up, garden answers. And I always loved when she would go through the proven winners picks for the upcoming year and stuff like that. And she's very knowledgeable, and seems to be a very genuine person. I think I really enjoy her videos with her and her mom in particular. They just seem like they are in their happy place in the garden when they go shopping for garden stuff. But I've seen her do snaps. I think if people just realize it's not so hard to do some of these things, to just try it. And if you don't have like seeds, the cell trays, use like an old strawberry container, you know, that your berries come in. Try one of those, because you can always transplant it out into like a hanging basket. And I don't know if you'd want snaps in a hanging basket, but you could do one of those ones where like it sits down in something, and then you could have like the cascade, and of course the snaps could be the vertical, you know, and then you have something, the filler, and you can make really pretty arrangements. I'm hoping to try to do a couple of my own. We'll see. I've got a wandering Jew over here going that I can see being part of a cascade of a basket that I have been trying to keep alive this winter. Okay, I'm sorry. This one is by Botanical Interest. This one is called Black Prince. I love M.I. Gardner seeds. I think he has a phenomenal price on his seeds. And I love all the information that he gives on his packaging. Like, it's just amazing. I hope I got a few more. Oh yeah, I do. But I have to say, I think the best packaging of any seeds I have seen is Botanical Interest. They do a phenomenal job, and I think they have pretty good seeds. They're just, some of them can get kind of pricey, but I mean, and that I don't know if you can see, but inside there's more information about your plant. It shows you what it's going to look like. I mean, it just gives you so much information. I think they're phenomenal. So, with these, I just hit the surface. I'm not supposed to really do anything else, so I am going to put that, I'm going to wet them, and I'm going to put that perlite on it and cover it. And this one is actually just going to stay outside because it doesn't need a heat mat. I think I'm going to go ahead and bring the pepper plants inside in the garage for now, until we get through this really cold snap this weekend. I am not going to video me doing the lavender and all that stuff again because I've done that before with you guys and it's getting late. So I just wanted to say I hope that this encouraged you. The one thing I love about sowing seeds is that it always makes me think of scripture. And it always makes me think of my Mimi. She was my grandmother. She was a master gardener, and I remember her always saying, having faith like a mustard seed. And when you look at these seeds and they're so little, they're like little mustard seeds. But the thing I remember so much that's always comes to the forefront of my mind in scriptures is some of the seed fell on good ground. So I hope your seeds fall on good ground this year. And I hope that you'll have an abundance of a harvest. And so much so that you can bless others and share with others, and that it will grow your passion in the garden. So with that, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.